Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So today we're going to be going over, I guess more of an updated build guide of the Ice Trapper that I'm playing currently, which can be played from quite a different ways. But we're going to go ahead and showcase it in a tier 8 map in the alpha, because it's kind of hard to go up in tiers. And I did actually end up self-finding and self-crafting myself a 6-link, so I can go over that for you guys. We've got Controlled Destruction, Ice Trap, Cold Penetration, Elemental Focus, Trap and Mind Damage, and Cluster Trap. Now, Elemental Focus can be swapped out for so many different things like added Cold, Empower, increased AoE, Conk Effect, Reduced Duration. There's quite a few things, so this is totally up to you as to exactly what you want to use. Also, my mana cost is currently 110 on Ice Trap. And other things we're going to be showcasing is we're going to be using Trap, Less Duration, Cluster Trap, Frost Bomb in the boots. And we've got Minefield, Fire Nova Mine. That's pretty much all that we have. I'll just go over a quick rundown of the passive tree if you guys would like to see how it looks. And this character is set to get 165% life plus 5 jewels with 7% life on each jewel slot for hardcore. And we run Temporal Chains plus Enfeeble on Blasphemy with our character. But without further ado, let's go check out a Dried Peninsula. There's quite a bit of upgrading I still want to do with the character. Like my gear is, with the exception of my 6-link, which actually the 6-link itself isn't even that good. But with the exception of the 6-link, my gear is pretty poopy.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
But the character's good. I mean, I ran at Ziri earlier yesterday. That's what this flask is supposed to be, my Azubi flask, but it's being used. Probably have to highlight that and clip it and post it for you guys as well. It was a really strange Atziri kill, I'm not gonna lie. Now, to show off exactly what this does with like say more AoE on the floor, if I place down my mines, I should get much more AoE. Oh, we got a canyon, look at that. I don't think there's anything very tanky inside Dry Peninsula though, unfortunately. No, I don't think anything is tanky inside here. This is also utilizing the Saboteur subclass for chain reaction for instant detonate on mines. And that's pretty much how the build works. Is essentially you get enough AoE to overlap so that every trap you throw has pretty much just overlapping AoE, which is kind of like the old shotgun mechanic, if that makes sense. Not really, but it is. Like the damage calculation works like that, but it's not actually it's not actually shotgunning. An orchard too. Oh my god, this game is telling me to keep going, man. Also, the build totally worked just fine on like 4 links. I was running 4 links the entire time, and then I went to a 5-link and then self-crafted the 6-link, which was pretty funny.
I need more pockets.
Why is he not? Oh, there we go. Like, it was not working for a second. Did I miss the boss? Can you even do that? Who is the boss? Is the golem is the boss? What the fuck? Maybe it was like right over here. Where's this dude at? I want to say he's like hugging the wall over here. I don't think Dry Peninsula is the monkey one, is it? Did I already fight the monkeys? Oh, here's the arena. Alright. Let's see how much this does then. So here's the boss. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Like, I think it's pretty good, man. The deeps is definitely there. So the whole purpose of the Orbward Storms is to proc Elemental Overload, which gives me 40% more elemental damage. And the reason why I don't run, or I don't necessarily need to run an offensive curse, is we get 2% penetration from Celestial Judgment. Explosive Experts gives us 8%, which makes 10%. Then High Explosives gives us an additional 10%, which puts us at 20%. 20% plus our current cold penetration would be 56% cold penetration, which is pretty neat. As you can see, my inventory is really clean and organized at the moment. We do this to make sure that our bank doesn't look nasty at the end. That's actually 98 life counts, right? Huh. Alright, now one other quick demonstration to show you guys is I'll go ahead and burst out Vol. Vol in Merciless, since I know a lot of people are well aware and familiar with Dry Lake.
Low on mana.
I think the best thing about this patch, though, is the introduction of how much quicker you can recover your traps. Which is like the biggest thing ever, because it doesn't really matter when it comes to damage in the end. It's about how fast you can. Wouldn't necessarily say how fast you can clear. I guess that depends on the racing point of view, but I guess like how much sustain you have. You know, before my old Bladefall character, which would be totally fine in this patch as a sab because it'd get the 40% trap CDR, and then it would get the trap cooldown recovery gem. But in general, if you're like doing stuff in party play and you only have 3 traps and they have like a 2-second cooldown each, you kind of have to be really limited what you want to do here. As you can tell with my ice trap, I don't really have to be limited at all. Like, there's so many of them. And if I really wanted to go the extra mile, I could. If you guys want to see what... Oh, whoops. That almost killed me. Trap cooldown on 18 is 47% cooldown recovery speed. Sem and Enfeeble. Okay, where is Mr. Vol? Mr. Vol! He's here somewhere, right? I don't ever have that, like, you look for Vol and you can never find him, but whenever you don't look for him, you always find him.
I need more pockets.
Let's drop this. Mr. Vol. Alright, here's this guy. Alright, here we go. Here's Vol's area. So he's chilling right here. So we're gonna deeps him. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Ice Chop hits really hard, man. It hits like super duper duper hard. I love it. I love the chunks it deals. Alright, so let's talk about the build exactly. What you want to prioritize, how you want to skill it, how you want to build it, when it takes off, is it difficult to level. We're talking all about that right here. So let's start off with the passive tree and how you kind of want to navigate your character. So you're going to start off with Shadow, and the reason why is we want the Saboteur subclass. The purpose for the subclass is for getting Chain Reaction. What Chain Reaction does is, first off, it gives you 40% increased cooldown recovery for throwing your traps, which is, it's pretty much insane in any scenario you want to look at. And it gives you the ability for all your traps to trigger at the same time, which means if you're fighting a boss and you have 11 traps on the floor and he steps on one, 11 of them go off if they're within the same range, which allows you to pretty much insta-give a boss. And here's an example of what that does. All of them would go off at the same time. So say this was a boss, and you aim it, you throw it, they still all hit anyway. It's great.
More pockets.
I want that. Alright. Let's continue on with this, though. After you grab Chain Reaction, you do want to grab Explosive Expert. And one other thing to note is you get 4% increased area of effect for each mine out on the field. Mines and traps do expire after like walking a screen and a half away from them, so there is that. And you get 10% increased effect for traps with Chain Reaction. Thus, you get about 50% increased AoE if you want to go through the process to drop it all. Don't worry about my fire res. You can see I'm currently at, without increased AoE, I'm 25% on my ice trap. If I place down mines, I go to 65. It's pretty crazy. But you don't need to keep it up 100 times. It's just like if you need to play, you know, more defensive or you have a boss or something. So that pretty much covers how you want to go through here. And of course, you go Explosive Experts for elemental penetration. You can go Blinding Assault if you want. I think Explosive Experts is much more better, or much more efficient. All right. So you're going to start off, grab your LA damage, move through Trickery into your life, come through Elemental Focus, Cold-Hearted Calculation, and it's up to you if you want to either grab, it's your choice on Hasty Reconstruction first, or Clever Construction. It's totally up to play style. I personally grab Hasty Reconstruction first. After Hasty Reconstruction, you do want to go ahead and grab like High Explosives and Clever Construction and get your life, you know, according. From that option, you have two. You could basically go down if you want to go more defensive and get Acrobatics. Also, Master Sapper allows for Frenzy Charge generation, or you can go ahead and go to your left side over here, which is another option. It's literally totally up to you. We're going to go across here, grab pretty much like the Mana Sustain, Blast Radius, move across, get the life. I don't like how this is set up, but I really do feel like it's the most effective way, unfortunately, because Elemental Overload is literally 40% more damage when you want it up. I wanna like chop off everything here and do something else like down over here with evasion base, but we'll see that later. So for right now, it's just coming up through here, grabbing Whispers of Doom for Dual Curse for Temp plus Enfeeble, and then Purity of Flesh, move down, Celestial Judgment, and Devotion with the Life. Like I said, I don't really like this part too much here. I want to learn to just cut off this and maybe come like into here, grab Heart of the Oak, grab the evasion here, maybe grab Fervor, grab this Frenzy Charge right here. Where is it? Grab the Frenzy Charge here, and then pick up every single jewel and possibly go like Revenge the Hunted. There's still a couple options I want to play around with, but this is what we've got as of right now. So yeah, then coming down through here, Devotion's nice because it gives you strength, and strength you need for less duration, or reduced duration, whatever it's called, if you want to use it with Frost Bomb. Celestial Judgment's just the extra penetration, and it is attached next to a jewel, which is like basically 7% life. And then you move down through here. You don't really need to get Phase Acro early. I like taking Phase Acro kind of like late 80s, early 90s, just because that's when, you know, the map bosses start to become a bit more dangerous, and you do a lot more bossing at that point. That pretty much covers the passive tree. As for how to gear your character, I will gladly go over that as well. So, my weapon is really shit. It gives me a low spell damage roll, a good LE damage base, 3 to 106 lightning damage to spells. It doesn't matter what you get here, but you do want to get cold damage. Like, cold would be the most efficient if you're trying to chill and freeze. Overall, though, you don't scale cold damage. You're scaling spell damage, LE damage, area damage, so everything applies just fine. But again, you do want a cold damage roll. Other options are like Terran Shiver for early league. Please don't make the price go up. I want to play my own build. But Terran Shiver should be a really nice starting weapon at like 60-something, breaking into mapping. As for your accessories, this rings are insane, but I don't really need it. You just need life. Life resists, and I guess mana regen if you want would be really optimal. I'm using a defensive shield, just life resist evasion. Same thing applies to pretty much everywhere else, just life resist. There's nothing really too special you need. As for like core links for Ice Trap, the build does not take off until you get Chain Reaction. So like your build is like okay, or it's like subpar, or it's pretty much shit to be honest. But the second you get Chain Reaction with Cluster Trap, now all of a sudden all your ice traps are just overlapping, and your damage went from like shit tier to just like WTF happened. Chain Reaction is like your bread and butter for your entire build. on how to take off and scale. And with that being said, you're a bit nerfed until you finish Cruel Labyrinth, which requires you to do the 6 trials in each. Bandits, you should do Oak, Kill, and then Help. Help Creighton. Creighton gives you the additional Frenzy Charge. The Frenzy Charge is super, super, super cool. I haven't picked it up yet, but you do have pretty much like 85, 100% uptime just with Master Sapper. Now, Master Sapper does not work for traps not triggered by enemies, meaning like if it does go off on the chain reaction, it is not going to actually get affected by it. But that's okay, because you can also just throw them directly on the boss, and it's totally fine. Yep, in terms of defensive, you know, what this character would get is Lightning Coil, obviously, and I'm still debating, again, if I should, like, swap all of this over to this side. I'm super debating it, because if you think about it, I'm spending 7 points for Dual Curse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 2 points for life, 3 points for life, and, like, I don't even need the penetration, really. So I think this is going to be the next swap.
A new follower.
Anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for the build. If there's any questions you guys have, you know, please display them down below. I'm having a lot of fun with this character, and it's really good. It's a really solid character, and I'm really enjoying it. I guess the last thing to go over is your core, like, bread and butter links would be basically, where is it? Right here. This is your bread and butter 4-link. You want Ice Trap, Controlled Destruction, Cold Penetration, Cluster Trap. After that, you can throw in Trap and Mine, and then you have absolutely whatever you want. I want to start using Hypothermia, actually, instead of Elemental Focus, and see how that works out. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I don't really know exactly how I can... I guess, yeah, I can link this tree in the description down below. Just give me like 5 minutes after the video. Remember, you do have to put it in the new updated calculator to, you know, play around with this as well. But I'm off. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.